Alright, today we're going to be working on the 2011. It's got a plow mount on it that was set up for when it was at stock ride height. When I put the flatbed on it, I put a 3-inch lift on it. So now the plow mount is 3 inches too high for the plow. So we're going to go ahead and do it in the shop. That way I got some more tools and stuff at my fingertips when I'm doing the job. And we're going to use these jacks so I can lift it up and work on it without being on a creeper and stuff. So let's get started. Got my keys now. Got to put the vehicle in neutral, or else what will happen is the drive tires actually come forward, or the rear tires try to come forward. So what will happen is it'll either slide the jacks or slide your tires. So all you got to do is put it in neutral. And then you can set you back up over here. These are meant to do it on semi-trucks, so this little truck is nothing for these jacks. Stick with it. And just like that, I mean, we're so far in the air, like I'm 6'4". So now I can get to everything I want to by sitting down. Alright, so there's the plow mount. So you got 4 bolts here, 4 bolts here, same thing. So you got like 16 bolts holding on there. And like I said, it needs to go down 3 inches. So if I move this top bolt hole on this bracket down to this bottom bolt hole, that'll get this piece right where it needs to be. And I will bolt it back up. I can lower it back down off these jacks and measure off the ground and measure to roughly half of that pinhole, and it should be about 15 and a half, like that, once it's on the ground. So right now it's 18. So we'll get all these bolts undone and my little specialty deal here for my 2-inch receiver undone, and we'll get that lowered down and check it out. So there's it moved down. Let's take a quick measurement. As you can see the dirt line. So let's try to get our tape measure up in there. That's pretty close to 3 inches. And that's what I've measured. So all right, so everything I found online says to measure to the center of this. Basically center of this hole. And it's supposed to be 15.5. This puts me at about 16. A little under 16. So I'll have to do some looking to see if it's worth going down the extra hole, which I don't think it's going to be because I think that'll put me at about 15 inches. But I might be able to pitch that just a little bit, and that might give me my 1/2 inch. But I'll do some looking to see what kind of window there is, to see if maybe 16's in spec. So, all right, I got it moved. We're close enough. It's not exactly the 15.5 exact on point, but it's gonna be close. But what I did was this 2-inch receiver. Go ahead behind the license plate. I mounted to the top of this, so to the top of the plow hitch. So as the plow hitch goes down, there's a gap now between where that 2-inch receiver mounts and the plow hitch. So I've got, I was doing some looking and found some drop off angle that I'll be able to put onto this plow hitch as a spacer and be able to gusset it all up to make it so it's all structurally stable. And then I've got to figure out how to finish reinforcing the ends, because now we don't have an entire bolt pattern. So I've got to drop them down, maybe make a plate on the outside. Don't know what I'm doing yet. So I'll get this plow hitch off. We'll do some cutting and start getting the license plate reinforced. I think this is going to end up being a 2-day project. One, to get it dropped down and the hitch supported, and then the next day I'll come back and do the end pieces, getting them all reinforced. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure when I put them in, they're going to fit the way I need them to. That involves doing some tacking. So batteries are right here. I'm going to go on, hook the negative cables so I don't short my ECM out or something crazy, like that. So let's get to it. Now we can flip these locks. There. Go over this controller here and raise the truck. pretty hard to do with one hand, to be honest with you. Got to do it evenly. You get it up so far where you want to work. Then you can lower it. And it'll sit right down on the lock. And you put your pin in to the hole right there, and it locks it all in. It's not going anywhere. You can lose air, you can try to lift it. See right there. Goes into all those holes there. But right through there, you can try to lift it, lower it, whatever, it won't move. And you can work your knife away. Alright, got two of them cut to size. Just hold it up in there where I wanted it. Got a paint pen and mark the top of it. Now I'm going to take a punch a little dimple somewhere in there, drill a little bigger than a 1/2 inch hole, and then bolt it up where I want it. I'll have this all cleaned up, and I'll get the welder over here and do a couple tacks to hold it in place, and I'll drop it all out and weld it up solid and put a brace in on the side to help brace that from flexing this way. So now you can see there's a little bit of a gap there and a little bit of a gap there, and I'll just put some tacks in to kind of hold them in place, and I'll take everything apart, take it over to the bench, weld it up solid, and put some gussets just on the inside edge of them. That way it leaves this outside edge open, easier to get to the hardware that's tucked up in there. That should be good enough to get it out of there. Alright, there they are all welded up. I've even got the piece in the side to help support it so it doesn't fold easy. That's not quite as thick as the bracket, obviously, but the bracket does most of the work. That's just to keep these two from drawing together. Got a little bit of grinding to make it look good. Grinder and paint makes the welder ain't. Both sides, those will hold. Those will hold. And then I'll go back up in there, get it all bolted up, and I am probably going to call it a night after that. Going to have to figure out. Basically what I'm figuring is if I add 2 more bolts to this pattern here, down, I should have enough beef. And then adding another plate to the side of that goes up should help stiffen everything up, even though it's going to have more leverage this way than it's originally designed for. But with all the extra beef I'm putting in it, with the side plates, it should help transfer all the load and everything. There it is, all bolted together for the evening. You can see the angle come up and the support bracket plate. That side's still behind the air dam. It's broken on this side, so it's easy to see. But I don't have anything out here done, so I'll have to get that put together. But it's getting late and I gotta go get dinner, take it home. So we'll get this truck put down and batteries hooked up, and we'll call it an evening. All right, we're back the next day. Gonna finish up the plow mount on the bottom. Get that bracket extended down and get it all gusseted it up so it's nice and stiff. We can do some real good pushing with it. And just like that, it's in the air. All right, I found a bracket in the scrap dumpster that is pretty close to the right thickness. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these 2 bolts in the bottom hole, and then I'm going to tighten them up. I gotta clean the paint off here and notch the top of the plate so I get a groove. I can make a couple tack welds, and then do the same thing on the other side with a plate I have over on the bench, and then I'll tack weld it on, and I'll pull the center section of the plow out, and I'll weld the inside and the outside good and thick. Then I'll be able to put the plow mount back on for the last time, get it all bolted up into place, and then I'll have to work on coming up with a plate I can brace the outside of this so it doesn't have more leverage than it's used to and fold across here. Something crazy. So that's where I'm at. There it is, notched out a little bit, bolted up both sides. See if I can get some welding shots. Alright, so I've got it all welded up. I put, so this is a 1/16 of an inch thinner material than this. So I put little dimples on it. So when I put that outside plate on it, that outside plate will push in on it and make it all nice. Gotta do a little bit of cleaning, then I'm gonna paint it up. But that should be enough where I can, after I get it painted, I can put that lower piece back on. And all I'll have to do is make the side plates. Alright, so I was kind of in a time crunch, so I didn't film putting it on, but I'll show you what it kind of looks like. So you can see the plate I added, the original bracket, and then the crossbar that goes across the front of for the plow. So it just sandwiches the original bracket, and it goes all the way up to the top of the whole pattern. And what I figured out is the one just above the 4 for the crossbar there actually will hit the crossbar, so I didn't put those on. It's all structural, good, strong, stiff snowplow hitch, and it will I can hook to a plow again and push some snow. Next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna start doing something to add a little weight to the rear. That bed is a couple 100 pounds heavier than the original bed, about 600 or 700 pounds probably heavier than the original bed. So there's a little extra, but it's not as far back as I wanted. So that's, we're going to go ahead and add a little extra weight. So I think that's the next video. And thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.